What's up? This is Boxing Wave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Chad Dawson is going to be making his return on the Robert Guerrero. Forgot the guy Robert Guerrero's fighting. Japanese too. I know he's a top-ranking Japanese welterweight. But anyway, he's going to be making his return on the undercard of that fight. You also got Russell Jr. against Lomachenko. You got Alexander against Jesus Soto Karass. It's a stacked card. The only problem is Chad Dawson's fight will not be televised, all right? I got this news off of BoxingNews24.com. Make sure you check out their site. I will leave the link to this article on the description of this video, okay? Now, I'm glad Chad Dawson is making his return. You know, I think he needed a little break, you know, coming off those two losses. One against Andre Ward, where he was stopped in 10 rounds, and then you had the first round knockout by Adonis Stevenson, okay? Before these losses, though, I mean, he was kind of running things. I mean, he did lose to John Pascal, but he had some good wins. I think, you know, he was the champion. He beat Bernard Hopkins just a few fights ago. It's crazy how this Chad Dawson's fight is not getting televised on a Robert Guerrero main event card. Yet, he beat Bernard Hopkins just a few fights ago. You know, it's amazing how the tables can just turn in your career in boxing. You know, he's not getting televised on a Robert Guerrero card. That's crazy, right? If you really think about it. But anyway, Chad Dawson was the champion at light heavyweight, you know, a couple years ago. He beat so many people. I mean, not so many people. He beat Tomas Adamek. He beat, who else? He beat Glenn Johnson a couple times. He beat Antonio Tarver. You know, Bernard Hopkins, I already said he beat Bernard Hopkins. And, you know, he loses to John Pascal, you know, but John Pascal went to lose to Bernard Hopkins, or they had a draw and then he lost or whatever. But, you know, Chad Dawson made a mistake. Like, I feel like Chad Dawson was Adonis Stevenson's first victim, because Adonis Stevenson was coming up knocking people out. But people weren't aware, like really aware, that this guy had that one punch knockout power, you know, with his left hand. You know, I think people are still just now trying to, we saw the Fafora fight, you know. People are just now understanding how Adonis Stevenson fights, you know. But Chad Dawson, I feel like he was that very first victim of his, you know. And then getting into the ring with Andre Ward, weight drain. He should have never went to 168. Chad Dawson shouldn't be fighting no less than light heavyweight. You know, he should be light heavy or cruiserweight. He's like 6'2". He's a big guy, you know. He should have never went down to fight Andre Ward. That was a big, I mean, you got to take risk in boxing anyway, but I just think that was a big mistake to fight Andre Ward down at 168. Even at the weight, and he just didn't look healthy to me, you know, losing all that weight. You know, his arms looked shriveled up. He looked funny standing next to Andre Ward, facing him in the weigh-in that day. I remember watching that weigh-in. But anyway, Chad Dawson, I'm glad he's back. I think he needed the time off. According to the article, he's fighting George Blades. I'd seen George Blades fight. I seen John Pascal stop him too. So I think that was just a couple fights ago with John Pascal. So Chad Dawson should win this fight. Okay, he should win this fight. You know, I'm not gonna do no prediction video or anything for this fight, because it's not even gonna be televised. But he should win this fight. If he does not win this fight, just like the article said, he should consider retiring. You know, because George Blades is not world class or anything like that. This should be a tune-up fight for him to make his return. He shouldn't be in the championship debate. If he were to win this fight, I think he needs a couple of fights to come back. You know, it kind of reminds me of Jermaine Taylor's situation, another guy that beat Bernard Hopkins, and now he fought recently, and his fight wasn't even televised. You know, he was a top guy not too long ago, and now his fight is not even being televised. You know what I'm saying? So Jermaine Taylor, Chad Dawson kind of went down that same road. But I hope Chad Dawson, you know, I still think he has a lot of fight in him left. You know, he's not that old. You know, I didn't check his age, but I just know he's not that old. I hope he's, you know, getting some good sparring in there, and I hope he's ready to look good against George Blades. You don't want to just make a comeback and win a fight. You want to look good. You want to look impressive. You want to try to knock this guy out. You know, so hopefully mentally he's there after those 2 losses. And you know, I would like to see him back in the talks. You know, I think at his best he's still at least a top 5 light heavyweight. You know, I don't think he could beat Stevenson or Kovalev. He already fought Hopkins. I don't even think he could beat Pascal. But maybe come back. You know, I don't know what Lucian Bute is doing, but maybe these guys could eventually fight each other. You know, I think Lucian Bute come back, get a tune-up fight himself, and then maybe elimination match between Bute and Chad Dawson. Whoever loses that fight just should hang it up and retire, you know. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys even care at this point? Do you think Chad Dawson should be even mentioned, or he's even relevant at this point? You know, I think he's relevant depending on how he looks against George Blades in his next fight, all right? But if he's not looking that impressive, maybe go up to cruiserweight, see how he does in there, and cruiserweight, all right? I think Tony Bellew had Nathan Cleverly. I think they just recently moved up to cruiserweight. So maybe he should go up to cruiserweight and see how his luck goes there, all right? So let me know what you guys think of Chad Dawson making his return, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace.